Hello, and welcome to the Showboys Newscast, bringing you all news and no opinion. I'm Mike.
And I'm Nick.
And I'm Chad.
Thanks for joining us. We got a lot to cover, so let's get right into it. And starting things off in typical newscast fashion, we got a couple DC articles for you. The first one being pretty exciting. I think this might excite Chad a little bit, but we have confirmation, as if we needed one, that the Batman is going to get a sequel. It's official. Batman will be getting a sequel. The smash hit starring Robert Pattinson as Batman and directed by Matt Reeves will be returning. Despite Reeves previously playing coy about future plans, Reeves and WB chairman Toby Emmerich announced the exciting news on stage at CinemaCon 2022, which I believe that just happened like a week or two ago. Shocker. You know what? I am shocked because, DC, it looks like they actually want to make money again. So,
Yeah. Right? Shocker.
Yeah. But I'm excited. It was a great film, and I think there's a lot of room to go in that universe. So
for sure.
I hope they just focus on making the Batman universe a thing.
Yeah, they should. They definitely should. Well, I mean, I would imagine this is the highest rated Batman movie since the Dark Knight trilogy, right? Even Justice League and all that stuff, I would think.
Yeah. Yeah. I would definitely say it's much higher rated than anything in the air quote DCEU.
Right.
I'd have to check about the Dark Knight stuff because that actually I'm really curious now. So maybe later on while you guys are doing some of your articles, I'll try to look that up.
Yeah, I'd be curious of that too. Because in this kind of post-COVID era that we're living in. Mm-hmm. And I wonder what they run those numbers off of because, I'm sure they track who's watching it on HBO, right?
Yeah, they'd have to.
Yeah, they would have to. So, this is exciting. I loved the movie. I didn't really get to break my thoughts down too much about it. I loved it. I thought the Riddler was the best Batman villain I've seen on screen yet. But the Joker... not doing it for me, unfortunately. Their rendition of the Joker, in the film,
the Joker,
the Joker,
like Joaquin Phoenix.
No, Joker in the Batman.
Oh, right. Yeah. Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, just not feeling it. I don't know. I don't know if it's his aesthetic or the actor or what it is. I don't know.
Did you see the like deleted scene?
That's what I'm talking about. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, because he's in it. I think if I remember right, he's in the Batman very briefly, right?
Yeah, I think it's like either at the very end or the post-credit scene.
Might be the post-credit scene. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, I don't know. Do you guys like it? I just don't. I don't know. I don't know what it is about it. I think it's, especially in that cut scene. It's just, I don't know. The makeup's just not doing it for me.
I think it's interesting, and I would like to see it played out. I also wonder why they chose to have the Joker cosplay as Ron Perlman. If you don't know what I'm talking about, just look up a picture of Ron Perlman, and then look up a picture of the Joker in the deleted scene. You'll understand.
Yeah, that's a fair assessment.
But yeah, along with that, we have some news on the Superman franchise here. Following the previously discussed $43 billion with a B deal for Warner Media, Warner Bros. Discovery is looking to revitalize the classic DC properties like Batman, Superman, and Wonder Woman. The strategy moving forward is to hire a Kevin Feige type to oversee the DC universe and focus on movies like Joker and reboot Superman. It's a solid plan, so we'll see, how they execute this, if they can execute it. But I gotta say, I think I don't want to say high hopes. I have hopes because this is no longer just in Warner Bros. Hands. Like, it's Warner Bros. Discovery, and the Discovery CEO, I forget his name, but he seems to be taking control, which, means somebody other than the Warner Bros. Creative team is taking control, which gives me some hope.
Yeah.
But we'll see. I kind of wish that, not to interrupt you, but I kind of wish they would kind of get away from this trio a little bit. Like, I don't know. One of the things that I appreciate about the MCU is bringing kind of like real deep cut heroes into the mainstream, like, you know, Ant-Man and things, Guardians of the Galaxy, stuff like that.
Yeah.
I think we're all kind of maybe a little tired of, even though I just talked about how excited I am about the Batman in that universe, but like, can we not have more Batmans maybe?
Yeah. I mean, I'm with you to a point there. I'm with you on 2 of the 3. You can give me any Batman thing ever, and I'm going to love it. Superman and Wonder Woman have never done anything for me. They still don't to this day. So if they revitalize them a little bit, like they're saying here, maybe I'd be more interested. But yeah, I agree with you. It's time to maybe splinter out, but they could really benefit from a Kevin Feige type overseer.
Sure.
You know what I mean?
Somebody,
I think that's what they need.
Yeah, it's almost like they kind of had that.
I was gonna say, when you're asking for a revitalized Superman, I mean, kind of had that, and everyone hated
like
him.
They had someone who had a vision for the DCEU, like in mind when they started making the DCEU movies, but then they kind of like forced him out. So now they don't have a singular vision for the DCEU.
I like to always think that there's 2 sides to every story. You know what I mean? So maybe he was just a total douche. Let's be real. I mean, maybe he needed forced out. I don't know. I mean, is Kevin Feige like directly tied to the movies, or is he just the overseer of the MCU stuff? He doesn't like direct any of the movies, right?
No, he's just kind of like
storyboard,
the creative head, like planner, I think, of the MCU phases and stuff. But yeah, they definitely need someone who's like, here's the grand vision.
Right.
Let's make sure everything we do somehow leads to this.
Right. Yeah. You would think that, you know, this far into the MCU's success that they'd figure this out, but apparently they're having a rough go of it over there at DC.
Yeah, it's rough. At this point, just stop trying and do your singular universes, you know, like your Pat verse, and make like, I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah, you might as well do that because you can always tie that stuff back in later.
Yeah, because I mean that's kind of how the MCU started. Anyways,
right.
Well, moving on. We don't want to keep beating a dead horse, even though it's fun to beat that particular dead horse because I don't know, it needs a beating. We got a gaming section here, and it's a decent size, so I'm excited to get into some of this. First up, we have an open world survival game set in the Dune universe, which sounds kind of interesting. So, riding on the momentum of last year's hit film Dune, Funcom is looking to release an open world multiplayer survival game set in the Dune universe. Dune is, of course, based on Frank Herbert's hugely popular science fiction novel. Last year brought the latest film adaptation, which was personally one of my favorite films since the pandemic, and that would be Cody Speaking. I have not yet had the chance to watch the new Dune, though I do want to. I just haven't gotten around to it. Additional details are few and far between, but we do know from a job listing that the game will use the Unreal Engine, which is pretty awesome. The listing also alludes to the game releasing on both console and PC, which is interesting. Wonder if there'll be some cross-platform play there. We're looking forward to future news on this game for sure. And I think maybe Nick's ears might have perked up, open world survival sci-fi game. How do you feel about this, Nick?
There is only Valheim.
Not what I want to hear when you're supposed to be playing Horizon right now.
I'm so close to 300 hours.
Yeah, the Valheim bug has bitten again.
I mean, bite quite often.
I drilled a hole in my house to like make this work. It's dedication.
It's true. Shout out Showboys Valheim dedicated server. Go in our Discord and message Nick, and you can come play with us.
Yeah. So, yeah, I mean, sounds like a good time.
Well, also, not to be completely sidetracked, but Dune also, they released a real-time strategy game of Dune on Steam
Oh,
recently.
really?
Like Spice World or something like that.
Yeah, Spice Wars.
Girls.
Yeah, Spice Girl Wars.
Spice Girl Wars.
I don't know where this game came from. Like even at the beginning of the year when we were doing our like planning for the year and we went over like all the stuff that's coming out this year, I looked at a list of 30 RTS games coming out in 2022, and I've not heard a single thing about this game. But there's a Dune RTS game for anyone
Then all of a
that's
sudden
interested.
it's like, bam, here I am.
Yeah, and it's got mixed reviews. I think it's just kind of playing into Dune and trying some things differently, and people like it, people don't like it. I'd probably pick it up on sale just for a fresh kind of space with the RTS games.
Yeah. You got to be really careful. It's getting a little bit better in 2022, but like licensed games like that are rarely ever good, especially when we were kids. Like if you look at like the first licensed game that was good were the Arkham games. Like that was the first real licensed game where people were like, "Oh crap, this game is
Well, I know
really
what
good."
you're talking about, dude. Like Aladdin and Lion King on the Super Nintendo. Those
one of the most brutally difficult games ever made is the one level in Lion King.
Oh,
you can look it up. It's impossible. But yeah, I mean, I feel like it is getting better with the Star Wars games and everything that are coming out. But when we were kids, man, like this stuff was trash. Like that RTS game that's what it sounds like to me. Like early 2000s licensed Dune game that nobody has ever heard of. Just stealth released on Steam.
That's like 2 years ago or something. I forget what I was doing, but I was trying to find I think it was like 4X Game of Thrones games, because also they have the board games and stuff. And then I find that there are Game of Thrones games, but it's exactly that. I'm like, oh god, that looks horrible.
Yeah, they're just trash. And it's so sad because like a dream game for me is an open world Game of Thrones game in the style of The Witcher, but just Game of Thrones stuff. And it's just so prime for a good studio to pick it up, but they're all butthurt and want to do their own stuff, which is kind of annoying sometimes.
How dare you be creative? Just make whatever exists.
That's the thing, though. You can take Game of Thrones, like Warner Brothers did with Batman and Insomniac did with Spider-Man, and be creative with it. It's a possibility. You don't have to be 100% creative and make something new. Just take an established IP and make it good.
Yeah, not
creativity.
Not to get completely sidetracked either, but even like Lord of the Rings, like the Third Age or any of those, like the Third Age particularly, where it's kind of like the Final Fantasy turn-based style. The fact that they told a unique story that just crisscrossed with the actual events of the movies, they could do that, just something simple like that for Game of Thrones. Like you're at all the key moments, right? Just like off in the peripherals of the show. Yeah. And those games weren't like game of the year, but they were freaking fun.
Right. Yeah. I think everybody, like I said, everybody's scared to do the licensed games because of their history. You know what I mean? Boom. People know that those games don't really typically sell very well, but they can look at Insomniac Spider-Man to see that is changing. I mean, that game sold very, very well. And it's, they built their own universe over there at Insomniac and Spider-Man, so they're allowed to be creative within the whatever they pick up license-wise. So anyway, moving on, we've got some PlayStation news here, and it is a rumor. Gaming insider Dr. Serkan Toto believes FromSoftware is a prime candidate to be acquired by Sony. The Japanese studio has an interesting background, which includes creating a pig feeding management program, but has been killing the gaming scene recently. The rumors have been out for a while, but it seems that this might actually come to fruition. If so, it will be one of the largest acquisitions in the history of the gaming industry. I keep hearing mixed things on this. If it's happening, if it's not happening. I got to be honest with you. Maybe I'm just not as checked into the gaming community as I used to be, but I've never heard of Dr. Serkan Toto. It almost sounds like a made-up name to me. Maybe it's like a YouTube name or something, but but I heard that they came out, Sony might have came out and said that this wasn't happening. And then I also heard that Warner Brothers is now on the docket to be acquired by somebody, and all three parties are interested. So I don't know. We'll see. I know that there's a big acquisition from Sony coming, and I'm I'm driving myself crazy trying to figure out who it is.
Been trying to crack this for a couple weeks now.
Right. And it's it goes back and forth. I think I read that like EA is interested in picking up Warner Brothers stuff. So that, in my mind at least, says that EA is not the one that Sony is acquiring, because if they're looking to acquire stuff, I don't think they're looking to be acquired. I could be wrong by that. FromSoftware would be awesome, but like I said the last time we talked about this, there's something with Japanese law that makes it difficult, I think, for some of these studios to sell to bigger companies. So I don't know. We'll see. I would be ecstatic with either of Warner Brothers, FromSoftware. So we will see.
Quick update on the Batman rating. I looked it up. The Batman on Rotten Tomatoes, 85%. Dark Knight Rises, I forget, 87%. And The Dark Knight, 94%. So didn't rate any higher than
any of them.
The two. I'm sure it probably rated higher than Batman Begins. I didn't even bother looking that up. But often forgot about first entry in the Dark Knight trilogy.
Yeah.
And then we have some breaking news. This just in. Netflix has canceled Space Force. Continue. I just had to throw that out there. But Space Force has been canceled by Netflix.
Darn.
I know. But hey, we got to stay on top of things here with the Showboys Newscast,
We definitely do. Moving on. That show's okay. But moving on. We have a new Star Wars game announced by the Uncharted creator? ? A new Star Wars game with an original story is in the works. Go figure. Amy Hennig, former creative director at Naughty Dog, is now the president of Skydance New Media, who is looking to bring a richly cinematic action-adventure Star Wars game. Hennig will be working hand-in-hand with Lucasfilm Games on the story, with the VP of Lucasfilm Games stating, "I couldn't be more thrilled to be working again with Amy. She and Skydance New Media team have the talent and ambition, blah, 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 to create a unique Star Wars adventure." Of course. We're looking forward to sharing more with Star Wars fans. Of course, when the time is right. Just like, this one's just another one of those Star Wars IP, some other studio, connected to some other studio, hopeful, wishy-washy, everyone's really talented, gonna be a great game.
Yeah.
But in reality, we have not actually had a Star Wars game since what, Battlefront 2?
No, Fallen Order.
Yeah.
Oh, well, if you count the Lego one that just came out, which you should by the sounds of it, because it sounds like it's amazing. So yeah, technically we just had one come out. But this, like, here, I love Amy Hennig. Amy Hennig worked on Uncharted 1, 2, and 3, maybe.
But not the best one.
But not the best one, because I believe her and Neil Druckmann had some sort of falling out or creative differences. When we did our Uncharted 4 episode, and I told you guys to go watch the trailer where Sam was actually the bad guy in that was her version of the game. Nate's brother was going to be the villain of the game. And then also, she's working on a Marvel game right now. I looked this up to verify it. So this game, dude, this game's not going to come out for like 15 years probably. So I don't even know why the hell we're talking about it right
It's
now.
Actually, they're talking about Star Wars Eclipse.
I was going to say, we're already waiting for our next Star Wars game is Star Wars Eclipse, and that's not coming out till 2028.
Because exactly. Because
it'll release when Star Citizen releases.
Yeah. I thought that I had heard that she was working on a Star Wars game. It got canceled, and then she started working on a Marvel game. So when I read this, I was like, wait a second. Wasn't she working on a Star Wars game that got canceled? And I'm pretty sure that's true. I'd have to look it up to verify it, but I'm pretty sure she was working on one prior to the Marvel game. But anyway, yeah, I mean, super excited. Hopefully they just revive that Star Wars 1313 because that already looked like Star Wars Uncharted. So what more can we need? And I'm really like on top of the PlayStation acquisition, I'm also trying to rack my brain on what the Marvel game is she's making. I'm really hopeful for a Daredevil game. Would be really cool. But I don't know. We'll see. They haven't announced anything.
Well, for some reason, we like when we're talking about the revitalization possibility for the DC franchise movie wise, and then you're just talking about Marvel games. I keep thinking about Green Lantern, and I feel like either a really good Green Lantern movie or like a cool Green Lantern game would be pretty awesome.
Yeah,
I don't know why, but
yeah.
Green Lantern just has like a lot of possibilities. A Daredevil game would be awesome.
Yeah, my problem with Green Lantern is I only know the movie.
Yeah, that's not a good experience.
Right, exactly. So, like, anytime I hear that, I'm like, no, like, keep that crap away from me. Like,
Yeah.
that would nothing to do with it.
No, Green Lantern's pretty sweet. It got definitely, not a great first impression to the wider public. That's for sure.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I don't know. I can't, because Insomniac's covering Spider-Man and Wolverine, right? So I'm trying to think of who. Like, I thought for sure Insomniac was going to do Daredevil and keep it in the New York, universe that the Spider-Man games are taking place in. But yeah, I want to land on Daredevil. That seems like the most unchartable Marvel character to me, in my mind at least.
Yeah, dude. I like it. I can dig it. We have now some Nintendo news, well, I should say it's a big rumor and one that I'm rather excited about. And one that a rumor that I previously got super hyped about and then super disappointed when the actual announcement was made. But are Game Boy games coming to the Switch? Well, if the rumors are true this time, the answer would be yes. However, like I said last time, take this with bated breath, because this was the rumor when Nintendo 64 and Sega games were added to Nintendo Switch Online. The rumor back then, was Game Boy Advance, Game Boy Color games.
Yeah.
But the rumor this time seems to be gaining steam. Leaked files consisting of a Game Boy and Game Boy Advance emulator turned up on 4chan. So another red flag. You want to take these 4chan leaks like seriously with a grain of salt. But anyways, I'm excited nonetheless, because even if it is just a grain of salt, worth of possibility, of actually happening, I gotta have hope. Nintendo European Research and Development appears to have created the emulators, which checks out as they previously handled other emulators on Switch. Nintendo has yet to comment on the rumors, and it's currently unknown whether the emulators will be included in the basic subscription model or in the Nintendo Switch Online Plus expansion pass or whatever lame name they named it.
Yeah.
So we'll see. I might consider, if this does come true, if it's included in the expansion, whatever, I might consider doing this, because I just want to be able to emulate my dang Pokemon games. And there are some other really good Game Boy Advance games.
Oh, for sure. For sure.
On the Switch.
Yeah, I went through a phase where I was trying to find the old, I think they were Game Boy Advance Metroid games. And I couldn't find them. I think they were on the Wii, and I didn't have a Wii at the time. But yeah, this would be super exciting. It's not, the original rumor with the Switch before the Switch launched was that it was going to have GameCube games on there. And I would imagine, you know what I mean? Going from that to Game Boy Advance, I want the GameCube games personally, but I think that there's obviously an issue with the emulation on some of these, because if you look at that new subscription service for Sony, or PlayStation rather, the PS3 games you have to stream. You can't emulate them. You can't download them. So they're even though they made the freaking console, they're having issues emulating their own crap. So I think that's probably the big hang up with a lot of this stuff. But yeah, I'll take Game Boy Advance games as long as they don't make it another category with another ridiculous name.
Right.
Added onto
So they have Nintendo Switch Online, and then they have the Nintendo Switch Online expansion pass, and then the third tier would be the Nintendo Switch Online expansion pass plus DX or something.
DX, yeah,
because that's all they do in Nintendo games. Right. But all of this emulation talk is making me just want a Steam Deck even more.
Yeah, I know, man.
That I could just emulate my games on there.
Yeah, it's super easy too.
Because all I want is to be able to, like, I've emulated the games I wanted to on my phone, but like I don't really like playing games on my phone.
Right, I don't either. Yeah,
I just want to be able to take my emulator that I use on my PC on the go. I need a Steam Deck.
I had thought about, because Alex had bought like one of those backbone type controller things that you hook it essentially makes your phone into a Switch, with the controllers on each side. So I had thought about doing it that way, but I was like, I might as well just buy a Steam Deck, because why not? Why not? Yeah. There's going to be games that I'm going to want to play on there eventually in the future. Plus the emulation, it's kind of a no-brainer.
Right.
But we'll see how I feel here and when October comes around and I actually have to pay for it.
Good point.
Anyway, moving on. In other rumor news, The Legend of Zelda Twilight Princess and the Windwaker Switch ports are going to be released later this year. This is in addition to Metroid Prime Remastered. The Zelda ports have been long expected to arrive on the platform, with many having expected them to have been released last year as part of Zelda's 35th anniversary, but it didn't come to pass. And Nintendo even specifically stated they don't have any Zelda campaigns or other Nintendo Switch games planned. Despite this, it's still believed that the ports will be released as early as November of this year. VentureBeat journalist Jeff Grubb has recently expressed this very belief. I could care less about Twilight Princess, never played it, but I want Wind Waker on the Switch. That sounds like an awesome time. But yeah, this has been a rumor for like years, so I don't think it's coming, but maybe. I actually bought a Wii U just to play Wind Waker HD. So, who knows?
I'm sitting here talking to my mic was muted.
Okay, I was wondering why everybody was so silent. And Nick's just chilling. Look at him with his little.
Yeah, no, I'm sitting here like yeah, no. So
I thought I dropped connection.
No. That was my bad. I muted my mic because I was clearing my throat. Oh. Shocker. But then I forgot to unmute.
Then you forgot to unmute.
Yeah,
that's fantastic.
I'm all for more ports to the Switch, and I was saying that I think it's fair to say that Xbox is like leading the way in backwards compatibility. PlayStation made a big step recently, but as always, as Nintendo always is, way far behind in this category. And there's so many old Nintendo IPs that I just want to be able to play on the Switch. But I can't.
Right.
And it sucks.
Yeah, I feel you for sure. Yeah, I don't know. We'll see. This is this constantly comes up. This Wind Waker HD, at least, coming to the Switch. It seems like the perfect thing, but I think they're gonna do it because they did. I can't remember the other Zelda game that they just released on the Switch, like a remastered port of it. But I don't know. We'll see when it comes around. Moving on to some MCU news. The sequel to Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse appears to be swinging for the fences. Producers Phil Lord and Chris Miller promised the sequel, quote, Across the Spider-Verse, will be a way, way, way bigger. How big do you ask? It'll have 1,000 people working on it, the largest ever for an animated film. The movie will feature 240 characters, 6 times the amount of the original. And finally, the story will sprawl across 6 universes. June 2nd, 2023 cannot come soon enough.
So this movie going to be like 5 hours long?
They're making it sound like it, right? I love Into the Spider-Verse, probably my favorite comic book movie ever. But I read like something that there was a scene in the original Into the Spider-Verse that was like took like a ridiculous, like a 5-second snippet of it took like 6 months to animate or something ridiculous. I was like, holy crap. So we're not going to get this sequel for a really long time. But 1,000 people working on it, like, holy crap, dude.
So basically they're designing this to basically view as a TikTok feed, right? Just
Right.
240 characters. So you're basically just getting 20 seconds
through.
a piece.
Yeah. Yeah, right.
You don't even know what's happening, but before you know it, 2 hours has gone by and you don't know what happened.
Yeah. Yeah. It's 240 characters. That sounds like prime time for it to get very muddled down. You know what I mean? But we'll see.
Yeah.
Maybe they can pull it off. They did a great job with the first one. The trailer for this one looks awesome. I'm gonna be salty if Miles doesn't have Air Jordan 1s on, but we'll see.
Right on.
So, moving on to some miscellaneous news here. Unless you're living under a rock, you've probably heard about Elon Musk's acquisition of Twitter. Musk, who's been riding Tesla to the top of the billionaire charts, decided to spend some of that wealth on social media giant Twitter. Musk is set to pay $54.20 per share, coming out to about $44 billion in total. He's set reasonable objectives like enhancing features, making algorithms open source, and eliminating spam bots. However, he's also touched on issues like free speech, which is sure to draw some legal and ethical questions. Twitter will become a privately held company owned wholly by Musk. I just think it's cool that he just bought Twitter. You know what I mean? like this. I love this. This guy can do no wrong to me, man. I love this dude. He's just like, I am nowhere even remotely as smart as this guy is. But if I was a billionaire, this is the kind of crap that I would do. Like, just buy Twitter. Why not?
Right.
Why not?
Yeah.
I like the tweet
Let's shoot a
stuff.
car into
I like
space. Why not?
Yeah. I like to tweet stuff. I like to own the company which I tweet stuff on.
Yeah.
My favorite part about this whole thing are the amazing memes of fake Elon tweets about buying other companies like Doritos so he can fill the entire bag of full
Yeah, I
chips.
saw that. Yeah, I saw that. I saw he's going to buy Game of Thrones and remake the last 2 seasons. He's going to buy Star Wars and get rid of the sequel and prequel movies.
No, not our beloved prequels.
He would
I
never.
saw a bunch of funny ones.
Yeah. Very interesting. Also pretty awesome because Musk is a pretty rad dude.
Yeah, well, like we had this conversation on the way to FDIC. If he is a billionaire and he spends $44 billion on a company, is he still a billionaire if that drops him below, or does he own the capital for that company technically?
Yes.
I don't know that was a yes or no question.
Yeah, that was definitely two different things that I don't know if you
that I got a yes. That I got a yes to.
Yes. Correct.
There's
thanks for clearing that up.
The astute Pixel Nick with his abundance of financial wisdom.
I mean, he paid $44 billion for the company. Technically, that's its evaluation, $44 billion.
Right, that's what I said.
So it's either going to go up or down. I mean, the company makes money, which he now kind of collects. It's no longer distributed, right? There'll no longer be shareholders.
I just hope that he changes the name to something to do with Dogecoin, so my Dogecoin can go up a little bit. Dogcoin, or however you say it. Because I'm still holding on to that $20 I put in there. It's at 40 right now.
Speaking of Dogecoin, Ridley Scott is developing
I don't
a new
know if
film.
you did that on purpose, Chad, but that was like the perfect segue.
Yes, it really was. Thank you.
But did you do it on purpose?
No.
See? Perfect.
Man, you're natural with this.
Boom. Ridley Scott is developing a new film about the creation of the Ethereum cryptocurrency. This is a rumor, but is crypto getting a movie? Alien and Gladiator director Ridley Scott will be bringing a film adaptation of the Infinite Machine to life to the big screen. Author of the Infinite Machine to Life, Camelia Russo, will also act as an executive producer. No other details have been shared yet, but it was inevitable that crypto movies would start to trickle out. I hope that, I mean, it should be good. It depends on how they go about it. I don't know if this means it's going to be more of a kind of informative documentary, kind of like Gaming Wall Street, or if it is going to be more of like a Wolf of Wall Street type situation. So that'll be interesting. I can't imagine it's too exciting, but you never know how they find ways to really make the creation of a technology exciting.
I just hope at some point, like the creator of Ethereum dies because an ETH coin just bursts out of his chest. You know, recreating the alien scene. That was the joke, guys.
Okay, I get it now. I was really trying to figure that one out. I'm like,
yeah, I was trying to rack my brain around it too.
Jeez. It's that high level sense of humor I have, you know.
Yes.
Yeah, that's it.
We'll go with that. Speaking of, this is totally not related in the least bit, but we have another VHS film on the way, which is exciting. If you're a fan of horror and anthologies, go watch some VHS movies. VHS Anthology has always been beloved by the horror community, so it's no surprise that another movie is in the works. Last year saw the release of VHS 94, which was a big hit on exclusively, I might add, on Shudder. And now Shudder is looking to follow that up with VHS 85. Details are sparse, but it's good to see the series continue. Excited about this. I still need to watch 94, but I don't have Shudder, so I might have to do free trial or something.
Yeah,
when 85
you
comes
won't
out.
pay. You will not pay.
You could always spend some of those Google dollars and rent it.
Rent it,
bro. Oh, you know what? I would, but I have Roku.
Breaking news.
Yeah, exactly. I have a Roku, and they removed the Google Play app from Roku. So I used to like rent the movies on my phone. It would go in the library, and then I'd pull it up on the TV. But
why'd they do that? They have some sort of falling out or something?
I don't know, because Roku's kind of lame sometimes.
It sounds really lame. I'm glad I made it this far in life and never having to deal with a Roku.
Must be nice. Can't all be millionaires, Nick.
I mean, they have things like Netflix, their apps go on our phones. Don't need fancy TVs with weird apps installed on them that install apps. Anyway, you know what's interesting? A Minecraft movie starring Jason Momoa.
Is it really
very interesting?
The Aquaman star has been announced as participating in WB's live action adaptation of Minecraft. As always, I picked my articles as if Jordan were going to stand in for me on the show.
This would be great to hear Jordan talk about.
Yeah, the movie has been in the works for a while with a few prominent names attached to it, like Steve Carell. Jared Hess, Napoleon Diamond, and Nacho Libre is set to direct the film.
Oh my God.
That is just like
this
just
sounds
a
horrendous.
hodgepodge of weird stuff mixed together.
It almost sounds fake, to be honest with you.
It sounds mega fake. I don't know why it doesn't have the rumor tag, but
yeah.
I mean, live action. It is. I mean, I guess he's kind of blocky. I mean, he's bulky.
Yeah, here, man. Like if there's any video game that deserves an animated movie, it's freaking Minecraft, not live action. Like this is why people hate video game movies, because they pick this crap.
But you know who should star in the Minecraft movie? Ron Perlman.
he is blocky.
That dude is just like his head's a block.
Yeah.
Oh Oh, I hate Ron Perlman. Oh, geez. Yeah, this is just, I mean, well, Steve Carell must be desperate that they canceled Space Force.
No,
He's jumping into Minecraft.
Great. Yeah, he's scratching for pennies, huh?
And then the director of Napoleon Dynamite and Nacho Libre.
Yeah, like what the hell? Yeah, I couldn't have made up a worse story if I tried, to be honest with you.
I mean, I just,
So true.
bad game adaptations. Like, I just picture Super Mario Bros.
Right, this is
Like,
gonna be
yeah,
right up
action
there.
movie.
With
Right.
Like
Yeah.
where they're just wearing like foam outfits of Minecraft characters. It'll be good.
Oh man,
It'll be good.
It's gonna be something stupid like he gets transported into the world and has to save the little freaking sheep or whatever they have in that game that you have to chase around. I've never played Minecraft. I played Minecraft one time, so
they'll have a giant like foam sword, like like action sequence where that's like the pivotal moment that just makes everyone like scream.
Yeah.
Jordan's like jumping up and down.
yeah, he's got the diamond sword. You know what's actually interesting? Season 2 of Arcane is still going to happen, which is amazing.
Why wouldn't
so again, I think this falls, under the if you have been living under a rock, you might not have heard this, but Netflix's stock and subscription count have seen a substantial decline of late. And that has resulted in a lot of series being scrapped, see Space Force. But luckily for Arcane fans, season 2 is still going strong. This is likely thanks to Arcane being completely divorced from Netflix as Riot fully produces the series. However, fans are still holding their breath with all the recent cancellations because not only was Netflix slashing a bunch of stuff, but the department that took the brunt of the cuts was the animation department. So right. I'm excited Arcane did not get cut because Arcane was amazing.
Yeah.
Top 5.
I need to top 5 what?
Animated series.
Really? Wow.
Easily.
Wow. That is what's number 1?
They're actually all Arcane.
Spoiler, they're all Arcane. It's just in the top 5. I guess just in the top 5.
You just have to you'd have to really rack your brain to give me a top 1 or what?
Yeah, I mean, I don't have a top 1. There's just like top 5. They're in there somewhere. So maybe Arcane. Definitely Attack on Titan, Dragon Ball Z. I could probably think of 2 more if I really thought about it, but
I really need to watch Attack on Titan. I was really enjoying it. I'm not gonna lie. And then it got a little real for my 8-year-old. I was like,
it continues to get more and more real.
Yeah.
You should still watch it ahead of him and just kind of vet each episode and then just cross out episodes and be like, you don't watch this one.
Yeah,
and then
that's
move
a
on
good
to
point.
The next.
That's a good point, but yeah, I guess that's a good point. But it's kind of like our thing to watch them together. And that makes it a little hard to watch together. You know what I mean? A little bonding moment over a dude blowing his brains out all over the wall, you know?
Yeah. I don't even
raising a little Jeffrey Dahmer over here.
Oh man, I need to get back into Attack on Titan.
Yeah, I mean, Nick, I wouldn't even think about it.
Yeah, I mean, that's when you said it, I was like, huh. I mean, yeah, I suppose so. That kind of fits the bill of just excessive amounts of violence.
Right. I know he's super bummed. They do have I think a child version of it called Attack on Titan Junior Year or something like that.
Oh yeah.
But I don't know if he'll like it. It's very kiddie.
Yeah, he's looking for the
He's looking for the violent crap,
Yeah, with the ODM gear and swords,
I mean,
it's fantastic.
I will admit it. We only watched the first 6 episodes, and I loved every second of it. So I need to get to it. Just have to find a way to do it appropriately.
Just make sure mom's not walking through the room.
Yeah.
Oh, jeez. We have some more Netflix cancellation news, and this one involves Will Smith. Unclear if it's due to the slap or Netflix's decline.
What got canceled here? The show or him?
The sequel to Bright. So if you hadn't caught this a few years ago, but Will Smith had a sci-fi movie. Like, I actually kind of enjoyed it. I don't know if either of you guys saw it. But
I've always meant to watch it, and I never remember that it's a thing when I actually sit down to watch something. But it looks cool. The trailer looked cool.
Yeah, it's a really unique idea for a movie. It's like you take like the fantasy type idea from like Lord of the Rings, like you have elves and goblins and humans, or elves and orcs, or I don't remember if they're orcs or goblins. Either way,
Yeah, I think they're orcs.
But put that in like futuristic times, and then intertwine it with like a lot of racial undertones, and like Will Smith is a cop and his partner is an orc, and there's it was a really interesting movie. I enjoyed it.
It's like a sci-fi fantasy end of watch.
But that's what I was. Yeah, I was
exactly.
going to say that.
There you go.
Yeah.
That was great. But we're not getting a sequel, which sucks. But Smith, of course, has been in the news recently for all the wrong reasons, but this cancellation seems to be tied to the previously mentioned Netflix decline. The perfectly fine Bright film will stand alone until Smith and Netflix get their affairs in order.
What is up with the Netflix stuff, though? Why is this happening?
Something... They lost a bunch of subscribers, and when the subscription count went public, their stock declined. Unclear what caused the mass exodus of Netflix subscribers.
I think they did raise their prices, correct?
Well, they've been doing that for like years now.
But I mean recently, like when all this started.
They've been consistently raising their prices. They've been dumping loads and loads and loads of cash into developing just everything under the sun. And there's a lot of good, cheaper competition out there these days.
Apple TV is like $6 a month.
Yeah, exactly. Apple TV. There's just a lot of, and they don't really have any partnerships, whereas like Disney, Hulu package with ESPN, blah, blah, blah. There's just like a lot of good competition out there, and I think they were just a little overzealous in being like where Netflix were kind of the bee's knees when it comes to this stuff.
I think.
Yeah. Stock price declining. I think that's negligible. It's beside the point because all of it has declined in the past like 4 months.
Yeah.
So obviously, with you just add on top of that, right, just overinflated stock prices, and then they're like, "Hey, here's a sliver of bad news. Sub numbers are down. Perfect. Let's dump it." So it's just like a perfect storm. But really, I think it's just fair competition is out there now. Like everyone's really got their footing. Disney Plus is just like cranking out series.
True.
Apple TV is landing just kind of like, to me, really prime time television, if you will.
Yeah, their series are borderline god tier.
Yeah, I don't even have it, and I know it.
Wow. I need to look through their series because I'm not too familiar.
Yeah, I've enjoyed the ones I've seen so far, and my watch list is growing by the day. There are lots of entries on there I need to watch. Severance being the most important, which I wanted to watch before last week's episode. I just want to make that clear. But Cody, our guest from BioFi, was really talking it up, which makes me want to watch it even more.
Do it.
Yeah.
Moving on to the next segment and the final segment. Welcome to Star Boys. That's right. Mike hit the cue right on the head. And we are in the Star Wars segment and the home stretch of the newscast this evening. Starting off, we have Natalie Holt to score Obi-Wan Kenobi, becoming the first woman composer in Star Wars history. I don't know why I guess it's technically true, but there's only been like 3 to my knowledge, counting her now. So, I mean, it's not like we're stacking up 20 men and saying she's magically the first, but that's nice. While the great John Williams is creating and composing the main theme music for Obi-Wan Kenobi, his first television project, which is interesting, a little detail there. Natalie Holt will also join the team as the first woman composer to work on a live-action Star Wars project. Holt will be charged with composing the score for the rest of the series. She's a brilliant background, previously working on Loki and the upcoming Batgirl movie. So, a little fresh composition in there for the score. Also on an Obi-Wan Kenobi note, just the gripe about like stupid articles I hate so much, but the headline was the lowest rated Star Wars series yet. It's not even out yet.
It's not even out yet.
I know. Like, why? I don't care. Like, what are you trying to do? Like, dissuade me from watching it?
Yeah, not gonna work. Not gonna work.
Oh,
That's so funny. Like,
I know
who approved, what editor approved that article is what I want to know.
The person that's head of advertising. They're like, oh, that'll get us clicks.
Or is somebody just so out of check with reality that they like looked up the rating and there is no rating because it's not out yet, and they're like, holy crap, this show was awful when it came out. It's not even out yet. Like, they have no idea.
That or like there's like 5 critic ratings on it before it's even come out, and they're just like giving it a bad score. And and the horrible score is like an 84 because it has to compete with 2 other series.
Right. Yeah.
Just these super loaded, clicky headlines. But this is all likely to happen as we approach the release date, which I believe is the 26th now.
Yeah,
they shifted it
or
around.
27th.
Yeah, they shifted around, which does that mean 27th is a Friday. 25th was a Wednesday, and I thought it was going to be on the Wednesday release schedule. So I don't know.
I thought it was 27th. And wasn't the original release date like the original release date for Star Wars: A New Hope?
Correct. Yeah.
So it seems odd that they moved it back 2 days. Like, maybe they just want to hit that Friday time slot.
Well, I mean that was the original release date for all Star Wars movies until the sequel trilogy.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I mean, that was just a thing.
Rian Johnson's got to change it up, subvert those expectations.
Got to get that Christmas money.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I'm just so adjusted now to Star Wars stuff coming at Christmas time that it's just been like part of my life since the sequel trilogy started. Huh, interesting.
But yeah, get another composer in there is always fun. Moving on, it's a rumor Lars Mikkelsen will likely be unveiled as Grand Admiral Thrawn at this year's Star Wars celebration. So this has been a circulating rumor with many different names attached to it, but Lars seems to be the one that's really sticking the past kind of like 4 months in our newscasts. But here, obviously, with Star Wars season approaching, being May the 4th, just days away.
Days.
2 days. 2 days to be exact.
The day that this will be releasing on audio platforms.
Boom. Happy May the 4th. May the 4th be with you and all that fun jazz.
Yes.
But Mikkelsen will thus be starring in the Asoka Tano live-action series. Most agree that he's not only the logical choice, as he's the voice of Thrawn in the animated series, but also the best overall choice for the role. Mikkelsen's team eluded him not attending the event, but did not roll out a pre-recorded message for the fans in attendance. So I think we are close to finally wrapping this one up and getting an official casting.
Would be most excellent.
Or they do the quick switch and like, yeah, all that aside, we're just going to pick his brother.
Yeah, Mads.
Yeah, Mads Mikkelsen, get in there.
Wasn't he? I forget which one was in Rogue One.
I believe Mads.
Yeah, so no, he can't be Mads.
Right.
Is Mads in Rogue One? Who's he playing Rogue One?
He's Galen Erso.
Is he?
Yeah, wasn't that your Discord avatar for the longest time, Nick?
Oh, he is. You're right. Interesting.
Yeah. Great character, great role.
Yeah.
Loved it. Galen is just like the man.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
I enjoy the Mikkelsens.
Yeah, the Mikkelsens are some good brothers. I forget which one is the Bond baddie in one of the
Mads.
Okay. Yeah, he is equally good. Those Danes.
Who does the voice for Thrawn in Rebels?
Lars.
Oh, is it? Oh, that's freaking cool. I like that. I'm a big fan of that.
Yeah. So I forget. Yeah, there was tons of different actors throughout the newscast.
Robert Downey Jr. was rumored.
I
At
heard
one point,
that.
which
Yeah,
he was
sucked so bad.
Who was wasn't Doctor Strange in there too?
Oh
Yes.
yeah. Benedict Cumberbatch.
Yep.
Yeah.
yeah. We're getting a bunch of big names in there, but I think that then it was like down to the Mikkelsens, and then I think it's shaken out to be old Lars here, not to be confused with Lars or Owen Lars being Anakin's uncle.
Right. Anyway, moving on to some other Ahsoka news. Bryce Dallas Howard, director of The Mandalorian and the Book of Boba Fett, had this to say about the upcoming Ahsoka series, quote, "So Dave Filoni, he knows Star Wars better than anyone other than George Lucas, and he was taught by George when he was doing all of the Clone Wars because they did that together. And we worked together on The Mandalorian. Without giving anything away, you're going to love the Ahsoka show that's coming up. I cannot tell you anything, but I can say that if you are a big fan of the Clone Wars, you will be greatly rewarded," end quote. Once again, details are sparse, but with a cast that includes Rosario Dawson and the return of Hayden Christensen, it's sure to be great.
Is it time to I don't know the right word, but maybe like elevate Bryce into like the holy trinity of the current Star Wars universe stuff alongside Filoni and Favreau?
Is she married to Favreau?
That is a great question.
I feel like she might be married to somebody. I'm thinking she's married to Favreau.
Alice is Seth Gable.
Wait, say that again?
Seth Gable is her spouse since 2006.
Who the F is that?
I don't even know who the hell that is.
I'm looking at his picture.
Oh, he looks familiar.
He looks like Big Lots Sebastian Stan.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's why he looks familiar. He looks like he's in a lot of B-rated like horror movies.
Maybe they're just, I don't know. Maybe they're just good friends, or I misunderstood the quote because I remember when the like whole Baby Yoda thing was. There was a quote where she was like, "We couldn't." I thought she said me and John couldn't let the kids know to let anybody know about Baby Yoda because they knew, and we were trying to get them to keep the secret that there was going to be Baby Yoda in the Mandalorian. So I don't know. She seems like I like her.
Know about that?
What'd you say?
Seth know about
I don't know if Seth knows about that or not. We might be breaking the news to him, poor dude. But yeah, she seems to be in like a lot of my favorite childhood memory stuff, like Jurassic Park. She's in the new Jurassic Park stuff. She was in Terminator, one of the Terminator movies, I think Salvation. And now she's surrounded around Star Wars. So she appears to be just a nerd like I am.
Yeah.
Which I can appreciate.
Update on Seth Gable. He apparently played Jeffrey Dahmer in American Horror Story.
Oh, interesting. Didn't even know that. Can't imagine where he would have even been in American Horror Story, Jeffrey Dahmer, but
it might have been like the hotel season.
Yeah,
it was true. In 2015, 2016. I'm not like super current with my American Horror Story.
Yeah, me either.
But yeah, there's that. I'm sticking by my claim though. He is definitely the Ollie's version of Sebastian Stan.
Well,
for those of you who don't live in Northeast Ohio, Ollie's is an extreme budget store full of garbage.
Bargain Center. Bargain Central.
Yeah, if you want to buy something and have it break 5 minutes after you leave the store,
That's
go
your
to
place.
Ollie's.
That's your
Wait.
place.
Don't you mean buy it broken?
Also
Yes, also valid. Yeah.
Or yeah, okay. Anyway, once again, thank you for joining us. We hope you found this both entertaining and informative. Please remember to like, share, and subscribe everywhere you consume our content. Find all the places we publish our content on our link tree.
Link tr.ee/showboyspodcast. Make sure you join the Discord server and become a member of the Showboys community to hang out with the Showboys staff and other listeners, as well as get some cool perks such as being able to see all the articles we had to choose from this episode of the Newscast but weren't able to squeeze into the episode. All article links covered in the episode will be available in Discord.
If you have anything you would like us to cover in more detail or include in a future episode, please comment where available. Email us at showboyspodcast@gmail.com or join us in the Showboys Discord for all the community action.
You all have a wonderful night, and we hope to see you right here at 9 p.m. this Thursday for a special episode of the Showboys Podcast. Good night.
That's not in the script.